After getting swept by the Nuggets, LeBron said something cryptic to the media.
I had a lot to think about, to be honest, and just for me personally, going forward with the game of basketball, got a lot to think about.
What does that mean? He waited to the end of his press conference to say that so no one could ask any more questions. But ESPN followed him in the hallway. What do you have to think about, LeBron? If I want to continue to play, as in next year, yeah, you would walk away? I gotta think about it. What? What about playing with Bronny? What about the 1 year left on his Laker contract? So they asked Anthony Davis about this, and at first he was surprised, but then he remembered. Bron said he might not even make the Olympics. AD said, no man, I don't mean the 2028 Olympics, 2024. And Bron said, yeah, I might not be around. So is LeBron done? Or is this a plan to put pressure on the front office? LeBron has played mind games with his teams for years. The GM is back. He could be forcing Rob Pelinka to sign Kyrie Irving. Oh yeah, I was thinking about retiring, but play with Kyrie? I can get really excited about that. Really good idea, Rob. This is just the GM doing his thing. But I thought they wouldn't sign Kyrie. They can't without getting rid of some valuable current players. But there's one big question Kyrie has to answer first. The reason this made no sense 1 week ago is LA just beat the Grizzlies and the Warriors as underdogs. They were looking great. They're gonna run it back. But then the Nuggets embarrassed them. And me. I said Denver had no chance. Turns out, it doesn't matter Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray don't play defense. The rest of the team is a perfect fit for that. And even if they slowed down Jamal and Joker, Michael Porter, KCP can't miss a shot. Even Bruce Brown. It felt like the Denver role players didn't miss a single three the entire series. But is Kyrie the guy who can fix that? But first, this video is sponsored by the free AM Hoops Discord. I've opened it up to everybody. The chat is popping during live games. I am in there every single night. We're also talking free agency and trades with the offseason coming up. When you join, you pick your favorite team and you rep them 24/7. Again, it's free to sign up. There is no catch here. Just click the link in the description, give me your email, and I will send you the link. Also, big thanks to the mods who have really taken this on. Hype, Mop, Varun, and everyone else. I'll see you guys in there. The Lakers had an awful 2-10 start, but finished with a winning record because of the Russ trade. They replaced Westbrook with D'Lo, Malik Beasley, and Jared Vanderbilt. Rui Hachimura came first, but D'Lo collapsed against Denver. He has a history of playoff failure, but this was a new low. In the first 3 games, Russell went a combined 8 for 27, 2 for 14 from 3. The Lakers got outscored by 53 with him on the court. Part of that was horrible defense because Denver hunted D'Lo over and over. It was sad because against the Warriors, he was actually decent in game 3. Remember when LeBron didn't score at all in the first quarter because D'Lo was going off? But yet again, D'Lo is not a playoff winner. When he was in Minnesota, they benched him down the stretch because he was so bad. So not only is D'Lo getting paid a lot less next year, he may not be on the Lakers. So people thought Kyrie was out. The Lakers were just gonna run it back with this team. But after getting swept, LeBron doesn't have much time left. I mean, if Bronny gets drafted by another team next summer, the next season will be his last in LA. So just replace D'Lo with Kyrie. Perfect! But it's not that simple. The Lakers have to get rid of other players, but keep Austin Reeves. They don't have to get rid of Reeves. He was their second best player at times in this postseason. I mean, look at his jump from the regular season to the playoffs, from 13 to 17 points a night, from 3 to 5 assists, 40% from deep to 44. Amazing at handling the ball, getting to the line, good defense. He is getting paid. But that's a problem because the most the Lakers can pay him is 4 years, $50 million. But plenty of teams with cap space can offer way more, like the Spurs or the Magic. They could offer 4 years, $80 million. So does LA lose him? No. Because if he gets offered more from another team, they can match it, but he becomes a poison pill contract. That's 2 small years at first, but then 2 fat paydays in those last seasons. It makes him hard to trade, but as long as this year wasn't a fluke, they'd be happy to pay it. So no matter what, they can keep Austin Reeves, Who do they have to cut? Well, the only guaranteed contracts are LeBron, AD, and Max Christie. They keep Reeves. So they get rid of D'Lo, Lonnie, Troy Brown, and Rui in free agency. They waive Vando and Mo Bamba before they're guaranteed, and don't pick up Beasley's team option. And if they get crazy, LA can trade Max Christie and their first round pick for nothing to get $35 million in cap space. Is Kyrie signing for $35 million? And what about the rest of the roster? I mean, right now they would have LeBron, AD, Reeves, and Kyrie. That's 4 players. Is Darvin Ham playing center? No, they would have 2 ways to get more players. First, they could use the room mid-level exception to re-sign like a Lonnie Walker. Then, 7 minimum contracts. 7 guys who are basically scrubs. Like I'm talking Tristan Thompson, DeAndre Jordan, Frank Ntilikina guys. No depth. So that's bad, but what about the money? Like Kyrie would have to leave $100 million on the table to do this. I mean, the most the Mavericks can sign him to is $272 million. The best Lakers offer is $140 million. And even if Dallas lowballs him, he'd leave $70 million on the table. Is Kyrie gonna do that? And even if he does Kyrie fix the Lakers' problems? I mean, they beat the Grizz and the Warriors by dominating in the paint, but the Nuggets were just too big and the role players were too talented. How does Kyrie solve that? I mean, he's smaller and he plays worse defense. What this does do is give the offense 4 people who can score for the Lakers, which might open things up for AD and Austin Reeves. But I think LeBron is thinking this because of how much of a disappointment Anthony Davis has been. LeBron looked at getting swept and thought, you know what? AD just is not a good enough number 2. It's never going to happen. I need to get Kyrie Irving because I know at least I can win with him as my number 2, or he could be my number 1, whatever the case. AD would have to get relegated to a number 3 because you cannot depend on him. So it's not a perfect fit, but after getting swept, LeBron is getting desperate. Every time things went wrong, he would look at Kyrie under the basket there in game 4 and thought, God, I need you. But the other problem is health. I mean, all of these guys are injury prone. And if LeBron, AD, or Kyrie gets injured, what do they do in the regular season? Like, I'd take them in the playoffs, I guess. But how do they even get to the playoffs? What is their seed gonna be? I could easily see this team struggling to make an 8 seed next year. But there is one other way to keep Rui Hachimura. He was a beast in the playoffs, not just scoring, but defending Nikola Jokic. I mean, Rui is so big and talented, it makes no sense why he didn't have success on the Wizards. The only way to keep him would be to get Kyrie in a sign and trade. That would require help from the Mavericks, but maybe they do it to not lose Kai for nothing. The sign and trade would be Kyrie for Malik Beasley, Mo Bamba, Jared Vanderbilt, and the 17th pick if it's traded on draft night. This would force Kai to sign for even less money, but it makes sense for Dallas because Beasley is a shooter, Vando plays good defense, Bamba catches lobs from Luka, and they'd have the number 10 and 17 overall pick. How much could Dallas get for 2 firsts in another trade? I thought there was no way that Kyrie would be on this team. They were going to run it back with this group. But after LA got swept and LeBron is hinting retirement, I think the GM is back and trying to force his front office to sign his buddy to win one more chip, even though that's obviously going to fail. But speaking of big trades, Dame does not want Scoot Henderson. Trade the number 3 pick. But we just got a very interesting report that says Portland might not care what Dame thinks. Check it out.